Hello and welcome to another Impact Boulder Breakdown. This week we're going to be looking at a 1-2 kind of paddle dyno thing that we recently set on our initial set for Substation, their new wall in Brixton that's going to be opening in London at the start of February. So if you get the chance to go check it out, let us know what you think of the blocks, this one in particular, or any others that are there. Right, let's get into it. So we'll just play the whole thing through in normal full time to start with so we can see what move we're going to be looking at. So this is climbed by Matt Cousins. The block's about V8. This was his flash go. He wasn't on it the day that we set it, so this is day 2. It was set by Kalian. We didn't actually do that much tweaking on this block. It worked out pretty well. It was just a case of actually trying it, working out how to climb it, and then we made a few changes at the top that I'll talk through when we get there. So we're going to break it down a little bit into the first position, like the setup, and then we're going to talk about some of the elements we need to consider to actually force the move, like the central section where you can see that 1-2 move, mainly looking at their hold choice and hold position, and then we're going to have a little look at the outro and any things to consider there. So playing through again, we're just going to stop it just as Matt gets into this setup position. So right here you can see that his centre of balance kind of goes straight down this line, and he's reaching out left to this blue dish. So this blue dish was awful. It was on the edge of unholdable. You had to go completely statically to it, which wasn't too bad. The start holds here were small but in cut. You had quite a lot of control, quite bad feet, and you had to pull hard, but you could go really slowly, and you needed to because you had to get this hold perfectly. So any worse at all and it would have been basically unholdable, but this is really crucial in helping to force this move and is basically the reason that it worked so well and felt quite uncheatable. So the other thing we need to look at with the setup is the positioning of the feet. So if this yellow line here represents the Matt's centre of balance, we can see that this right foothold, the one that he's going to be jumping off, is quite a long way right of that centre of balance. So we'll play it on a little bit here and you'll see that as Matt moves past, you're going to see here that he has to like sweep his hips to the right. You can see now as he's jumping, his whole body is to the right of that line that we drew down the centre before. So Matt really has to make this kind of like follow this arc all the way round to enable him to get over the foot to start with and then to jump. Why this is important from a route setting point of view is because we're creating lateral movement. So despite the fact that the hold he's jumping from and to are like perfectly in line, we're forcing the climber to move rightward from the start, and then as they hit that second hold they're going to be travelling quite fast, not just up but also left. So let's play this on a little bit until the position where Matt kind of hits that first hold. Just go a little bit further back there. You can see just as Matt hits this second hold, I'll just circle it here so we know which one I'm talking about. This hold here, he's losing that bottom hand. So that bottom hand was so sloping and poor that when you're hanging directly below it, you can kind of hold it. As soon as it's in front of you, it's basically useless. So he's got it here and you can see that he's just about to hit the right hand, but already this left hand is coming off. So that is really key in forcing this 1-2. So we've got kind of 2 parts to it. We've got this sweeping round, which is creating some lateral movement, and that's basically going to help send Matt straight out left to the next one that we want him to jump to. And we've got this really bad bottom hold, which is going to mean you're forced to move that second hand. So playing it on a little bit there, you can see now that we've got the kind of like finish position of this move. So the key with this is we're basically forcing the climber through a really unstable position, which is why they have to move fast. And to finish the movement, we want to create another stable position for them. So with this hold and this hold, where are we? You can see that they're both, the left one's a side pull for the left hand, like this. The right one's a side pull for the right hand, like this. So in this instance, we're giving the climber 2 things to compress between, and they can use that to stop their momentum. You could do it the other way. They could both be Gastons, but if they were both, if the right one was a Gaston and the left one was a side pull and they're both, there's no opposition between them, it's going to be really hard for the climber to stop the momentum. So that's a really good option if we're looking to carry on the move. Maybe we want to go into a foot plant or something. If you had the right one as a Gaston, the left one as a side pull, and then you put something big to aim for as a foot plant, that could work really well. In this case, we just wanted it to be right hand, left hand, and stop there. So you really need to have something there that's going to give someone opposition, and that gives them control. The other thing to consider with this is that this right hand can't be too good. So if that's too good, you're going to jump to it, and you're not going to have to move your left hand if you can hang on it one-handed. So that hold needs to be good enough that you can get some weight through it, but not good enough that you can hold one-handed. You also don't want to be able to match it easily. So despite the fact this is quite a big hold, it had like quite a small sweet spot on it. Kaylin also put it at quite an angle, so it's not going to be easy to hold with the left hand. Again, that helps you kind of move the climber on, force them past. So just a quick look at the outro. As is often the way with these coordination moves, it uses up so much of the wall space. This was quite a tall wall, but already you can see we're basically at the top. Originally there was just one more big move to a hold at the top. It was a bit awkward because the big volumes kind of got in the way of your chest. You couldn't get yourself into the wall, so we decided to add this hold in the middle, something quite bad. You could hang it, but it wasn't like a good finish hold. So a small move to there, and then a smaller flick to a good hold at the top. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more from us, then make sure to subscribe below and like this video too. You can see more videos here or here, and you can see lots more route setting content over our Instagram as well. Alright, see you next time.